Hey everyone, and boy, CBC is really pouring on thick with the pro vax propaganda. Headline: Saskatchewan, first person. How I unlearned my anti vax upbringing and started to trust the experts. My family's opposition to vaccines led to my mistrust of the healthcare system. Reported by Kelsey McDonald, January 26, 2022. Growing up in an anti vaccination home leads to far more than just mistrust of vaccinations. It affects your attitude towards the entire healthcare system. It's danger that persists until you choose to rewire your own mind. I know what it takes. This is my own history until one patient healthcare worker was willing to help me work through the rubble and build a solid foundation of trust in our medical system. In my early teenage years, my parents began listening to dangerous teachings from extremist faith leaders who preached that only belief could heal. If it wasn't working, apparently you just weren't believing hard enough. This pushed them away from the healthcare system and pharmaceuticals. I don't recall if I received my childhood vaccinations. I know that my younger siblings didn't. I remember my mother getting angry after another unvaccinated family exposed my infant brother to a child with whooping cough. She never came to the conclusion that vaccines could have been the answer to these problems. I mean, just disregard the fact that, the vaccines that you're talking about, it was basically one and done. You got the vaccine, which prevented you from contacting or getting these illnesses or viruses, right? Well, that's not what these new vaccines, these COVID-related vaccines, actually do. Well, let's just disregard that for the moment, I guess. As I grew older, I wasn't able to separate my mistrust of vaccines from the rest of the healthcare system. Even when I became pregnant for the first time, I had so much anxiety around my appointments with doctors. As a new mom, I declined checkups and blocked calls from public health. There wasn't any way I was going to let them bully me into poisoning my child. After all, my siblings and I were fine, so vaccines must not be needed. It was the same story for my second child. First of all, once again, you're trying to combine checkups, which that's a pretty normal thing for people to do. So yes, I would even agree that's kind of irrational for you not to, to take your child for like just regular checkups. And why are you blocking calls from public health? What was the reasoning? Why was public health calling you? Of course, none of this stuff is going to be properly articulated or explained because in reality, this article is meant to do one thing and one thing only, is to convince you to go get the jabs and trust the experts. Anyways, before I go, let me just point out the fact that this woman who's now someone who's just, think about it, just converted like that, went from one extreme to the other, right? Now what? She's just going to blindly trust the experts? Never question their authority or what they suggest or tell you to do? Not even get a second opinion? That used to be normal, actually, when I was growing up. To get a second opinion was quite normal. But now the message I'm hearing is no need for any of that. Just trust the experts and do what you're told. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.